What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Trey Sense, and yeah, we got a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. So before we get into this, I need a little something from you. Like this video, share this video, and if you haven't already, please consider giving your boy a sub. It would mean a lot to me. So what we're going to talk about today: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men's fragrances that are outstanding, but not as good as their flankers. What you think about that? I'm gonna say it again. 5 men's fragrances that are outstanding, that are great fragrances. Some of these are iconic and Hall of Fame fragrances. Still not as good as their predecessors. Let's get it. Let's start with one that, boy, when it came out, everybody had to have it. And if you went to a club, a disco, anywhere where there was music and booties bouncing, you smelled this. It is from the house of Paco Rabanne, 1 million. From the house of Paco Rabanne, and it is 1 million. Nice fragrance, very, very spicy. It seems like I wore something. Was it Beverly Hills Polo Club? I can't remember. I wore a clone of this. No. It was from Cuba. It was Cuba Royal. That's what it was. I wore Cuba Royal for a very, very long time. I'm not sure who ended up with my Cuba Royal, but I eventually got rid of Cuba Royal. But I wore Cuba Royal as opposed to this, because back in the days, even the top-notch reviewers, even the ones that have their own fragrance lines, like Nabatus, those guys used to review Cuba fragrances. Can you remember that? I mean, can you believe that? And I know some of you gonna remember that. But I digress. From the house of Paco Rabanne, it is 1 million. And this is a sweet bomb of a fragrance. Little bit of a fruity nuance running through the very, very bottom of it. What you're gonna get off the top, though, is a sweet, peppery, spicy fragrance. And honestly, it smells good. It smells good. There was a reason that people like this fragrance, an attention-grabbing fragrance, great performing fragrance. Yeah, it just was everywhere. From the house of Paco Rabanne, it is 1 million. So which one of the flankers do you think that I went with? I could have went with the Elixir. It's better than the original. I could have went with Royal. It's better than the original. I could have went with Parfum. It's better than the original. I could have went with Cologne. It's better than the original. But the one that I went with is one of my favorites from the line. And it is from, of course, the house of Paco Rabanne, from the line of 1 million. And I went with Privé. 1 million Privé. And I'll never forget. I'll never forget, you know. Smooth, sweet, whiskey type, honey type. That's just good. That is just good. Oh, Paco, why did you discontinue this one? The original 1 million is a great fragrance. It's nice, but it's not this nice. And to me, it's not as good as any of the ones that I just named. It's not as good as any of its flankers. And then there's Lucky up here, you know. But this one right here, And I'll never forget being in Jasper, Alabama at a TJ Maxx after church. My ex-wife and I, she comes walking up with this. She comes walking up with this tin. And she goes, "Do you have this one?" And my mouth dropped, because I'm like, that's 1 million Privé. I'm like, that's 1 million Privé. And she's like, "Do you have it?" And it's like, "No, I don't have it." And it wasn't anywhere near the fragrances. It's almost like somebody had tried to hide it and they were gonna come back and get it, or maybe they were gonna get it and I don't know. Somebody probably was like, "Oh, this is what you wear? This is that 1 million." And it was like, "No, I don't know what that is." So they just stuck it. When she came walking up with it, I was ecstatic. I was just like, That's coming home with me. And what you get, I mean, is this similar to the original 1 million? In my opinion, no. They're totally different. What you get with this bad boy right here is a smooth, slightly boozy, date night, evening out, very charming, enchanting fragrance. I really like this. A little bit hint of a gourmand, hint of boozy. None of that spicy. You get a hint of a little bit of a cocoa vibe or a cacao or chocolatey vibe running underneath it in the undertone. And when I say that, what I mean is you'll pick up on it, but it's not the star note. It's not the note that's gonna make you just go, you will pick up on it. It's there, you will smell it, but it's not the note that's just gonna make you go, oh, you know what I'm saying? But you will pick up on it and know it's there. But from the house of Paco Rabanne, it is 1 million Privé. All right, where to go from here? Where do I go from here? Let's go to another one that's going to be on Mount Rushmore of the fragrances. From the house of Giorgio Armani, it is Acqua di Gio. It's Acqua di Gio. And it needs no introduction. Aquatic, metallic, smooth, crowd pleasing, easy to wear, daily driver, white button up. Just an easy fragrance, probably one of the easiest fragrances to wear that's ever been made. Needs no introduction. It's a great fragrance, right? So what flanker do I feel like is better? Is it Profundo? Is it Profumo? Is it Profundo? Is it Profundo Parfum? Is it Profundo Lights, which I need to add? Is it Acqua di Gio Parfum? No. Make sure I'm pronouncing this right. It is Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio Essenza. And this is a parfum concentration. Why do I like this one better? Because it's clear that it's a parfum concentration. The dry down, one of the things that I like about a lot of the Acqua di Gio flankers is the dry down, it comes right back to the original Acqua di Gio DNA. But that opening in that mid is where they're different. And this, when you spray this, you're hit with a ton of freshness. So you got a little kiss of floral and a lot of freshness. And then that dry down is that old familiar Acqua di Gio that we're used to. But to me, this is a far better fragrance. The only problem with this is, much like Privé, they've discontinued it and the price of this has skyrocketed. I was fortunate. Another little story time with Trey. The last haul that I made, I did a double purchase. I was thinking I had already got this fragrance, but I wasn't sure, so I bought it anyway. When I got home, I checked it, I had it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna take this one back. And while I was just browsing, I saw this. And I had a conversation with my boy, JB over at JB Butters, and I told him, well, they had that Essenza, and they had a bunch of them. So I was just like, I'm gonna go get me one. I think that's what I'm gonna get. He was like, man, if they got one, let me know, and I'm gonna cash up you the money, and I'm gonna get me one or two of them. Perfect. So I get there, and I knew I wasn't crazy. I get there, I go right to the, after I make my return, I go right over there to the Acqua di Gio, to the Giorgio Armani section, and I pick this bottle up. I said, I think this is what I want right here. I want a bottle of this. And she looks at it and she goes, oh. She says, we don't sell that anymore. And I said, well, you got a bunch of them right there. She goes, no, that's the parfum, which I'm gonna go back and get. And then I was just like, oh. She's like, yeah, we don't sell that anymore. It shouldn't even be out here. So me being me, I said, well, what you gonna do with that bottle? What you gonna do with that one? She says, well, we don't sell it anymore. And about this time, my mouth started watering because I'm seeing like a big old piece of cake. I'm just like, ooh, that bottle is mostly full too. And she was like, I guess you can have it. So she grabs it and then, uh-oh. Mic came on. So she grabs it. Show must go on. So she grabs it, because I had also told her that I wanted to get that Valentino, I think it was Born in Roma, Coral Fantasy, because I'd already gotten, what is it, Green Stravaganza or whatever, green, whatever. So, what green, you know which one I'm talking about. So I was going back, so I was like, I'm gonna get that Coral Fantasy now. And she's like, okay. So she picked this up and we walked over there and I got through, she put it off in my bag and, you know, left out of the store, got to the car, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow, this had escaped me for such a long time. But I digress now. But the dry down is much similar to the original Acqua di Gio, but the opening and the mid is where it's different. Just a nice, fresh, clean opening. Very professional fragrance. I wish they would bring this back. Moving along. This next one, again, in my opinion, this one will be a Hall of Fame fragrance at some point, and it's from the house of Viktor&Rolf, and it is Spicebomb. And when this came out, man, everybody, oh, Spicebomb. That's all you heard was Spicebomb. Spicebomb and then Spicebomb. Everybody was talking about Spicebomb. Now, everybody can't wear Spicebomb. Everybody doesn't like Spicebomb. It's strong. It's got a little bit of sweetness. It's very peppery. Everybody can't wear Spicebomb. Everybody doesn't like Spicebomb. I like Spicebomb, but everybody doesn't like Spicebomb. So, again, sweet, strong, peppery, masculine, cold weather monster. Cold weather masterpiece of a fragrance. So what could be better from it? Is it night vision? The EDT? Is it night vision, the EDP? I have the EDP. I want the EDT. Is it infrared? Which one is it? Is it Spicebomb Fresh, which is one of my favorites? Which one is it? The one I didn't name. Spicebomb Extreme. Spicebomb Extreme. And this fix, ooh, that Spicebomb is smelling good. It's strong. It's definitely strong. I'm gonna have to put this one on skin because if I spray it in the air, they're gonna be in here battling. Gonna be battling like two break dancers from, you know, from the 80s. Y'all gonna think ozone in it. Oh. When it hits that skin, it pops. A little bit more of a punch, a little bit sweeter, and just a little bit stronger. Now this Spicebomb is maturated. The levels on it are just right. I've had it a good little while. Great fragrance. Great fragrance. I like that. But I like this one just a little bit more. But again, there's nothing in the Spicebomb line that you can wear a lot of. The infrared, the night vision, all of them, you have to be careful with your sprays because they're very strong, and that pepper in there will irritate some of those sensitive Karen's noses. They're gonna have them going, it's so strong. So I suggest if you're gonna wear this, and you don't hear me say this much because I am a believer that you can wear any fragrance when you want to, how you want to. But I do feel like this is a cool weather monster, and if you're going to wear this in the summertime, and you most certainly can, you just can't spray with maybe 2 sprays of it. If you go 3, but you can definitely go 2. You can definitely go 2 sprays of this and be fine. But I think this went past the original Spicebomb. I like them both, but it's so thick in here right now from just that pow, just pow. All right, I got 2 more. This next one, I don't think will make the Mount Rushmore of fragrances, but I think that it should, and I'll tell you why. From the house of Azzaro. It is Wanted. Here's why I think this fragrance should make the Hall of Fame. It sparked off an entire line. You went from Wanted to Wanted by Night to Most Wanted to Most Wanted Parfum to Wanted Parfum, no, Wanted EDP, Most Wanted Cologne. I mean, it's a whole line. It's a whole line. So, and it's a really good fragrance. Listen to me now, believe me later on. If you don't have this in your fragrance and you're looking for a nice fragrance that's not expensive, that smells expensive, that you can wear on a date night, an evening out, to me it does come across as more of a spring, fall fragrance, or a winter into spring fragrance. But again, any of these can be worn in climate controlled situations, and any of them can definitely be worn at night. Just have to temper your sprays. You can't go 7 sprays all day on these in June. Not in Alabama. You can if you live up her, you can, but if you live down her, you can't. You gotta be easy. But this one is nice, sexy. It is a boozy scent as well. Very easy to wear. Very romantic. It's a crowd pleasing fragrance, and women like this scent. Women like this scent. So which one did I feel like trumped it? I stayed in the Wanted line. I didn't go over to the Most Wanted, so I went with Wanted, the EDP. And I think Wanted is good, but I think the EDP is just a little bit better. That's just nice. It's a little bit resinous. It's a little bit fruity. It's got a little bit of that Middle Eastern vibe going for it, but it's just a great fragrance. It's a little bit more refined and a little bit more dressed up, and I just like it just a little bit better. So as good as I think Wanted is, and Wanted by Night, I think Wanted Parfum is better than this one, Wanted by Night, and then Wanted Parfum. But they're all really, really good. This is a very overlooked house from Azzaro. They're really, really good. I like them. I like them a lot. But this one right here is just a little bit more refined, a little bit more classy. It smells a little bit more expensive. And that's hard to say, because Wanted does come across very regal. It does come across as a very well blended, well made, good smelling parfum. I'm sorry, cologne, parfum, whatever you want to call it. We're not getting into the particulars today. All right, last but not least, this one hasn't been out all that long, but I do think it may eventually make its way to the Mount Rushmore of fragrances, from the house of Ralph Lauren. It is Ralph Club, which is a parfum concentration anyway. No, let me retract that. It's an EDP, not a parfum concentration. It's an EDP. And some people get bent out of shape. And I just sprayed that right over my head. This one, when I first smelled this, I did not think a whole lot of it. I was just like, okay. But when you wear this fragrance, be ready for, oh, you smell nice. Oh, you smell good. What is that you're wearing? Blah, 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 blah. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it a lot. They're going to tell you a lot how good you smell, and they're going to want to know what you have on. This smells good. And keep in mind, this is an EDP concentration. And it's nice. It is nice. It is nice. It is nice. What makes this fragrance so nice? The ease that it is to wear it. The basicness that it has. It is a smooth, slightly woody fragrance. But what makes this fragrance so good is the fact that whether you're 14 or 144, you can wear this. Whether you dress it up with a suit and tie, or you dress it down with a t-shirt and a pair of sweats and Chuck Taylors, this will get the job done. It is a Swiss Army. It is one that all of us should have in our collections. It is just that smooth, that simple, that easy. Drum roll, please. Drop mic, good night, walk off. Show's over. That's that. So what could be better? You only got 2 options. The parfum or the elixir. I don't have the elixir, so it has to be Ralph Club's parfum. As good as I think Ralph Club is, and it took a minute for me. It took a minute. That's why sometimes working out of carded samples is not the best way to smell a fragrance. It gives you a quick little indicator, but sometimes the best way to really smell a fragrance is to get you a nice size decant out of a glass bottle, or get you, because coming out of that plastic I don't think does the fragrance any good either. Or go down to the mall or wherever and get the fragrance in your hand, on your skin, on your clothes, and you'll see. So what makes this one better? Because you have that same freshness, that same mass appealing freshness, that same slight woody nuance. This one is just a little bit heavier and comes across just a tad bit more masculine. Now, do you need them both? No, you don't. You don't. You just don't. Now, I got both of them from Macari, and this is a big old bottle, and I think I paid $40 for this one, and I think I paid more for this one. I think I may have paid, but I got this in a bundle deal. Seems like I got this with Chrome EDP, Chrome the EDP, or Chrome Parfum, whichever one it is. I got those two in a bundle, and I think it was like $80 for both of them, $70 for both of them. This one I caught on a humbug of a steal. I got this one for $40, I think, $45 after shipping. So, but this one I think is just a little bit better, and it's close, because this is good. This is really good. Ralph Club is good, especially if you're the type of person that don't like a heavy scent, or a scent with I hate to say it like this, but a whole lot of character. Like if you don't like stuff from like Parfums de Marly or Nichane, if you don't want a gourmand or a smoky tuna sandwich down by the river, if you just want a basic fragrance, it's hard to go wrong with these. It's hard to go wrong with these. So as good as I think that one is, this one is a little bit better because it embodies everything that the original, the EDP is, but it just cranks it up just a tad bit, almost like this is the daytime, this is the nighttime, but they both give you that same mass appealing freshness. Something is sticking me in my chest right there. It gives you that same mass appealing freshness, and they're both just good fragrances and easy to wear. None of these fragrances on this list are bad, and if you chose any of them, you would be just fine because they all smell good. They all smell good. I may do a part 2 to this video. This is part 1. I may do a part 2. I think I got enough to do a part 2, maybe even a part 3, but definitely a part 2, and the part 2 will be pretty good as well. So yeah, I may do a part 2. I may do that. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna get off. I'm definitely gonna do a part 2 now that I sit here and think about it. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna get off of here, thumbnail it, edit it. I shot this video and meant to get it out to you Friday, but halfway through the video, something happened and everything went into slow motion, and I couldn't unedit it and get it out, so I just had to reshoot. So, but I had put all my fragrances back up and had to get everything back out. But anyway, man, listen, I appreciate you guys for being the best part of this channel. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching and for commenting and just hanging around with your boy for 4 or 5 years. You know, I appreciate it. One of these days we're gonna do a conference or something for our small time reviewers, where we just meet up at a hotel, use the conference room and just sit around and talk. I think that would be dope. I really do. Me, Sam Brown, Cheapo, JP, Manny, whoever else wants to come, whoever considers themselves a small time review and wants to show up, they will be welcome. But with that being said, I'm gonna get off of here, and my boy, Fat Boy Fragrances, Juan, he's just right up the road from me. We live probably a 30-minute drive from each other. We need to link up. We need to link up. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, thumbnail it, edit it, get it out so you can see it. I love you all, and may God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Peace.